We start the level with a carefully timed hop slide to synchronize the cycles in the later parts of the stage. Additionally, we utilize the jumping glitch for several reasons, one of which is to deal with the plants in this level. The upcoming hole skip may look odd, but it's surprisingly easy and consistent. The zombie glitch is first utilized here with the nitros, allowing us to conveniently grab the time crate. The first electric fence must deactivate just as we reach it, and this is the reason we start the level at a specific time. Right after we have this annoying statue that can ruin your run if you don't react quickly enough. The way it moves doesn't really matter, but if it moves left and especially towards you, you have to react very quickly. Following the statue, you were able to see me hop slide between the plant and the wall. That is actually only possible with the jumping glitch. Catching this later fence is the main reason we started the level at a specific time. The dip hop after the fence is really bad, and having to land a box hop right after makes this section way worse. The way I play this section might look weird, but after testing 5 to 6 methods, this one proved to be the fastest one. Taking the boost pads here is slightly slower than hop sliding. We want to hit the upcoming box stack with a slide so we don't get stuck on it. The final two holes can be frustrating because crossing them at a wrong angle will cause you to lose your hop slide so close to the goal. One last thing that you can mess up is getting stuck on the corners of the last doorway right before the goal platform, which is a painful way to lose time. I got my first world record on this level just 2 days shy of a year ago. I just kept discovering more and more improvements, and now I'm finally satisfied with my time. The amount of effort it took to achieve this record truly highlights just how optimized and challenging this level has become. Let's quickly review all the strange ways you can fail this level to give you a better understanding. Boxes can interrupt your hop slide. The same applies to the time crate before the first moving statue. This is quite rare because the timing needs to be perfect. A nitro can jump as you pass through it, which causes you to take damage. Although zombie glitch lets you bypass nitros when sliding or spinning, jumping nitros can still hurt you if they are above you. The boxes can also interrupt your hop slide in this section. This section has a specific spot where jumping is impossible. This is likely because the game for some reason registers the scenery as too close above you. This issue is consistent and reproducible. You can somehow miss the time crate in this section. Instead of a slide jump, you can get a body slam here. Landing a deep hop but burrowing right after. This is actually the most annoying thing in the entire level. Check out this comparison and try to tell what the difference between them is. I can't spot the difference even when going frame by frame in a video editor. This was something that ruined most of my runs, and when I did manage to get past it, I almost always failed the next trick because I wasn't mentally prepared. I originally hugged the left side wall briefly, which entirely prevented burrowing, but it was also losing time, so I stopped using that approach. Eventually I discovered that turning right after stepping on the muddy ground significantly reduces your chances of getting burrowed. Unfortunately, I had already spent months struggling with this before finding the solution. I used to do this dip from the right side because you can stand on the scenery, and this gives you just enough elevation to make this dip work every time. Unfortunately, this loses a lot of time in the time trial setting compared to starting to hop from the left, so I had to do this the harder way. Right after this we have the hardest part in the entire level, at least that's what this section used to be. You can do a deep hop in this section, and that was something I was originally not planning to do because this dip might actually be the worst dip in the entire game. The death plane is so high up, and no matter how deep you manage to slide, you still might not get a hop slide. I still gave this dip a chance, and eventually I managed to land it and finish the level, though I was so shocked that I botched the ending. I got a time of 40:06 and I couldn't leave it at that after getting the dip once. Unsurprisingly, I never managed to get this dip again, and while practicing it I found a completely new way to start a hop slide, which is by landing on the edge of a box, which for some reason makes the box solid and allows you to slide off it. I did some testing to see how consistent or inconsistent these two tricks are for this part, and after doing them for 100 times, the results were insane. The chance of landing the dip hop was 4%, while the box hop was 50%. It's crazy to think I ever managed to land this dip during a run, but in hindsight, it was a lucky break. If I hadn't landed it, I might never have discovered this technique. It also motivated me to push the level and its optimization even further, eventually saving another 1.5 seconds. I also compared the speed of doing the dip and box hop, and they are practically the same speed, so there is no reason to ever do this dip. In the next section, the burrowing mechanic can cause a flat spin when starting a hop slide, which looks weird. Here is also a comparison between hop sliding through this section, which turns out to be slower. The last thing that can happen in this level is you can drop your hop slide when crossing smaller gaps. This is easily avoidable by holding forward until you are completely over the pit. However, for the final hole skip the opposite is true, you must start holding forward and right when crossing the gap, as holding straight forward causes a stutter that breaks your hop slide. Let's lastly go over some weird things in this level. You can land on the bombs the plants spit and slide off of them. You could do a hole skip in this part, but it is really difficult. Fortunately, the spacing with slides and spins right after makes it not worth going for. In the electric fence section, sliding into the walls can push you high enough to jump over the fences. However, skipping the first fence ruins the later cycles and skipping the second loses more time than taking damage, which makes these strategies impractical. The zombie glitch is strange, it usually makes grass immune to passive objects but vulnerable to those that change state. However, with these plants, grass can pass through their spiky rings but still takes damage from the plants themselves. Oddly, the bombs they shoot don't harm grass even though they explode, which you might consider a change of state. This is convenient as in the later part of the level these bombs are very likely to hit you when going for the boxes next to Nitro Detonator. This is literally everything this level has to offer. Thanks for watching.